Hey there, welcome to Health Boost Daily. Did you know the 3 vitamins you pop every morning could be secretly destroying your legs? I'm talking about the strength that keeps you walking, climbing stairs, and living life on your terms, especially if you're over 60. Today, I'm pulling back the curtain on these sneaky culprits you'd never suspect, and trust me, the third one will absolutely shock you. Stick around till the end to find out. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button, subscribe, and tap the bell. We're pushing for our first 1,000 subscribers, and your support fuels me to keep dropping health bombs like this. Let's get cracking. Alright folks, you're tuned into Health Boost Daily, your go-to spot for viral health hacks that have been lighting up screens with millions of views from people just like you. This channel's all about uncovering what keeps us strong, sharp, and thriving, especially when we hit those golden years past 60. And today's topic? It's a big one, and it's personal. Picture this: a few years back, Aunt Linda, she's 68, was strolling through the farmer's market, full of energy, picking out veggies like a pro. Fast forward, and she's barely making it across her living room. Why? She was popping vitamins like candy, convinced they'd keep her young forever. Spoiler alert, they didn't. It's a wake-up call that sparked this whole deep dive. And trust us, you're gonna want to hear this. Here's the scoop: if you're over 60, your legs aren't just for getting around, they're your independence, your freedom, your ticket to living life your way. But what if those little pills you're swallowing every morning are quietly chipping away at that? Today, Health Boost Daily is tackling 3 vitamins, vitamins, that might be doing more harm than good. We're not here to scare you off supplements for good. We're here to hand you the truth so you can keep those legs strong and steady. Get ready for some eye-opening science, real-life stories, and game-changing tips that'll have you rethinking your routine. Let's dive in and get to the good stuff. Alright, let's kick this off with vitamin E, the first of our 3 troublemakers. You've probably seen this one everywhere, plastered on supplement bottles with promises of a healthier heart, glowing skin, and maybe even a few extra years tacked onto your life. It's been hyped up as a miracle worker for decades, and I totally get why seniors flock to it. My neighbor Joe? He's 67, and he was all about his daily vitamin E fix. It's my anti-aging secret, he'd tell me, popping those little golden capsules with a grin. 6 months later, I'm practically carrying him up his porch steps because his legs turned to jelly. What went wrong? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into this one. First off, let's talk about what vitamin E actually is. It's a fat-soluble nutrient, meaning it doesn't just pass through your body like water-soluble vitamins such as C or B12. Nope, it sticks around, setting up camp in your liver, your fatty tissues, even your muscles. In small amounts, it's a powerhouse. It's an antioxidant, fighting off those pesky free radicals that damage your cells. Think of it like a shield for your body. You get it naturally from stuff like almonds, sunflower seeds, spinach, even a drizzle of olive oil on your salad. Back in the day, scientists discovered it in the 1920s when they realized it prevented fertility issues in rats. Cool, right? They called it tocopherol, from the Greek words for to bear and strength. Pretty fitting for something that's supposed to keep you strong. But here's where the plot twists. What's great in moderation turns into a nightmare when you overdo it. Most supplements pack a punch: 400 IU, 600 IU, even 1000 IU per dose. Compare that to food: a handful of almonds gives you about 7 milligrams, roughly 10 IU. That's a massive gap. Joe was downing 1000 IU a day, way beyond what his body could handle. And that's when vitamin E stops being a hero and starts acting like a villain, especially for your muscles. Let's break down the science. I promise I'll keep it simple, but this blew my mind when I first stumbled across it. According to the National Institutes of Health, too much vitamin E messes with your neuromuscular function. That's the fancy term for how your brain talks to your muscles. Picture it like a phone line, your brain's calling. Hey legs, move! Normally, the signal's crystal clear. But pile on excess vitamin E, and it's like static jams the line. Your muscles don't get the message right, they stumble, they weaken, they slow down. For seniors over 60, this is a big deal because you're already fighting sarcopenia, natural muscle loss that creeps in with age. The American Journal of Clinical Nutrition says we lose 1 to 2% of our muscle mass every year past 50. Add a vitamin that's gumming up the works, and you're accelerating that decline faster than you'd ever imagine. So, what does this feel like? It's sneaky. You might notice it's tougher to stand up from your recliner, like your legs are saying, "Nah, not today." Or you turn around too quick and wobble, grabbing the counter for balance. Maybe you're dragging a little at the grocery store, feeling wiped out halfway through aisle 5. Joe started complaining about this stuff, and we both shrugged it off. Aging, right? Wrong. I got curious, dug into his supplement stash, and there it was, 1,000 IU of vitamin E, every single day. I nearly choked on my coffee. That's not just a little extra, it's a muscle-wrecking overdose. Let me paint you a picture from my own life. My Aunt Linda, she's 68, like I mentioned, was on 600 IU for her heart health. She's the type who'd chase her grandkids around the yard, no problem. Then she started slowing down. "My knees feel weird," she'd say, rubbing them like they'd betrayed her. I thought it was arthritis or something, runs in the family, but then I saw her vitamin bottle. I did some homework, and boom, studies show doses over 400 IU tank your muscle metabolism. That's your body's ability to repair and power those leg muscles, knees, hips, calves, the whole crew. For seniors, who've already got less muscle to spare, it's like handing time a sledgehammer to smash what's left. But wait, it gets wilder. High vitamin E doesn't just hit your muscles, it thins your blood. Now, that might sound harmless, but if you're on meds like warfarin or even daily aspirin, super common for folks over 60, it's a ticking time bomb. Your blood's too thin, you bruise like a peach, and a tiny stumble could mean internal bleeding you can't stop. Imagine this, you're walking your dog, trip over a root, and your shaky legs don't catch you. Normally, you'd dust yourself off. But with thin blood? You're looking at a hospital trip. I saw this with a buddy's dad. He was on 800 IU and warfarin, fell in his garage, and ended up with a hematoma the size of a grapefruit. Scary stuff. Here's the kicker, there's no big warning label screaming, "Hey, this is trashing your legs." It's quiet, gradual, masquerading as just getting old. Joe didn't connect the dots until I dragged him to his doctor. Blood tests showed his vitamin E levels were sky high, and his muscle strength scores way below where a 67-year-old should be. We cut it out, switched him to walnuts instead, and he's clawing his way back. He's not 100% yet, but he's not leaning on me to get up those steps anymore. Let's talk history for a sec, because this isn't new. Back in the 90s, vitamin E was the darling of the supplement world. Everyone thought it'd cure heart disease, cancer, you name it. Big studies like the HOPE trial pumped the brakes, showing high doses didn't help and might even hurt. Yet here we are, decades later, and seniors are still popping it like it's candy. Why? Marketing's slick, and we trust anything labeled vitamin. I fell for it too, years ago. I was on 400 IU myself, thinking I'd stay young forever. Dropped it after I started digging into the research, and I've never felt better. So, what's my take after all this? Vitamin E's not evil, it's just misunderstood. In food, it's your buddy, 15 milligrams a day from nuts or seeds, golden. In pills? Watch out. Here's my hack, check your dose. Over 200 IU? Toss it unless your doc's begging you to take it. I keep a little jar of sunflower seeds on my counter now, naturally, no overdose risk, and they're a killer snack. Aunt Linda's on olive oil, she drizzles it on everything, and her legs are thanking her. If you're over 60 and vitamin E's in your routine, ask yourself, is this building me up or breaking me down? We've got 2 more to go, and they're just as juicy, stick around. Next up, vitamin A. This one's a household name, good for your eyes, your skin, your immune system. My mom, she's 72, was hooked on it. Every morning, she'd slug back a spoonful of cod liver oil, proud as punch. Keeps my vision sharp. she'd say, winking at me like she'd cracked the aging code. Then the complaints started. My hips ache, walking's tougher than it used to be. I figured it was just age catching up, she's in her 70s, after all. But something nagged at me, and when I dug into her cod liver oil habit, I found a shocker. That healthy ritual was grinding her bones and muscles to dust. Let's unpack this beast. Vitamin A comes in two forms: beta-carotene from plants, like carrots, sweet potatoes, kale, and retinol from animal sources, like liver or that cod liver oil Mom loved. Beta-carotene's chill, your body turns it into vitamin A only as needed, no biggie. Retinol? That's the troublemaker in supplements. It's fat-soluble, like vitamin E, so it doesn't flush out with a glass of water. It piles up in your liver, your soft tissues, even your bones. In small doses, it's a star. Helps you see in the dark, keeps colds at bay. Scientists pegged it as essential back in 1913 when they saw it cured night blindness in kids. Cool history, right? But here's where it flips. Too much retinol isn't a gift, it's a curse, especially for your skeleton. The safe upper limit's about 3,000 micrograms a day, 10,000 IU if you're counting that way. Sounds high, but it's easy to blow past with supplements. Mom's cod liver oil. 1 tablespoon had 4,500 IU. Add a multivitamin, another 5,000 IU, and she was doubling the limit without blinking. I checked my own stash once. Yep, my old multi had 8,000 IU. No wonder this stuff's a problem. So, what's the damage? Let's start with your bones. A study from Harvard's T.H. Chan School of Public Health dropped a bomb. High vitamin A levels, especially retinol, speed up bone loss. It messes with your osteoblasts, those tiny builders that keep your bones strong. Too much retinol, and they slack off, letting your bones thin out. For seniors, that's brutal. You're already at risk for osteoporosis, brittle bones that snap under pressure. The National Osteoporosis Foundation says 1 in 2 women and 1 in 4 men over 50 will break a bone because of it. Pile on excess vitamin A, and you're rolling the dice on your hips, your legs, the very bones that keep you standing tall. Mom's X-ray told the tale. Her doctor said her bone density was tanking, faster than normal for 72. He pointed at that cod liver oil, loaded with retinol, and said, "This isn't helping, it's hurting." I dove into the research, and it's chilling. A Swedish study tracked thousands of seniors and found those with high vitamin A intake had double the hip fracture risk. Double. Picture this: you're gardening, bend down to pull a weed, lose your balance because your legs are off, and snap, a hip fracture. That's not a bruise, that's months in rehab, maybe a wheelchair. I've seen it happen. My friend's aunt broke her hip at 69 after years of vitamin A supplements. She's still not walking right. But it's not just bones, muscles take a hit too. Excess vitamin A screws with muscle repair. Your body's always fixing tiny tears in your leg muscles from daily stuff, walking, climbing stairs. Too much retinol slows that down, leaving your thighs and calves weaker, achier. Mom started saying stairs felt like Mount Everest. She'd sit more, skip her evening strolls, and I watched her shrink into herself. Fatigue, pain, it's easy to blame age, but what if it's that pill bottle on your counter? I tested this myself after Mom's wake-up call, cut out my multi, swapped to carrots, and my legs felt lighter in weeks. Let's rewind a bit. Vitamin A's had a wild ride. In the 40s, it was the poster child for health. Cod liver oil was practically a rite of passage. Kids got it for rickets, adults for vitality. Fast forward to the 90s, and studies started waving red flags. The Nurses' Health study linked high retinol to fractures, but the supplement industry kept pushing. Why? It sells. I fell for it too, thought my multi was my safety net. Dropped it when I saw the data, and I've been preaching food first ever since. Here's the sneaky part: vitamin A toxicity doesn't shout, it whispers. No fever, no rash, just a slow creep. You sit more because your hips hurt. Stairs look steeper, so you avoid them. You skip the park, make excuses to stay home. Mom did that, started canceling coffee dates with friends. It wasn't until we axed the cod liver oil and got her on sweet potatoes that she bounced back. She's pulling weeds again, no wincing. My tip? Check your intake. Multivitamin plus fortified cereal plus supplements? You're probably over the line. Keep it under 3,000 micrograms. Better yet, go natural. Carrots, spinach, mangoes, tasty, safe, and your bones stay solid. One more story. My cousin's dad, 75, was a vitamin A junkie, 10,000 IU daily from pills and fortified milk. He fell last year, broke his femur, and spent 6 months recovering. Doc said his bones were like chalk, vitamin A overload. That hit me hard. If you're over 60, don't play roulette with your skeleton. We've got one more vitamin to tackle, and it's a real curveball. Hang tight. Alright, last but definitely not least, vitamin B6. This one's the energy king, marketed as your ticket to a sharp mind, buzzing stamina, and a happy nervous system. I've got a viewer, Sarah, 64, who emailed me a while back, and her story still haunts me. I started B6 for energy, she wrote. But now my toes are numb, like they're not even mine. I thought, no way, B6 is safe, right? It's a B vitamin, water-soluble, supposed to flush out if you overdo it. But Sarah's plea sent me digging, and what I found flipped everything I thought I knew. Let's start with the basics. Vitamin B6, pyridoxine, if you're fancy, is a workhorse. Helps your body turn food into fuel, keeps your brain firing, builds neurotransmitters like serotonin to keep you smiling. You get it from bananas, chicken, potatoes, small doses, about 1 to 2 milligrams a day. Discovered in the 1930s, it was a game changer, cured weird skin issues in rats, and soon it was hailed as essential for humans. Today, it's in everything: multivitamins, energy drinks, brain boost, pills. Sarah was on a senior energy supplement, 100 milligrams a day. Sounds harmless, right? Wrong. Here's the twist: B6 can go rogue. Most water-soluble vitamins, like C or B12, your body uses, then ditches the extra in your pee. B6? It's different. Push past 100 milligrams a day, common in over-the-counter stuff, and it doesn't just leave. It lingers, overloading your system. The FDA's sounded the alarm. High doses mess with your nerves, especially in your legs and feet. It's called peripheral neuropathy, and it's a nightmare. Starts with a tingle. Sarah said her toes felt like they were buzzing, off and on. Then it climbs, feet go stale, legs feel foreign, steps get shaky. She'd trip over nothing, dodge stairs because she didn't trust her balance. Thought it was diabetes or bad circulation. Turned out, it was that energy pill. Let's geek out for a sec, this fascinated me. B6 helps your nerves send signals, like wires in a circuit. Too much, and it's like flooding the wires with static, they short out. Studies from the Mayo Clinic say doses over 100 milligrams daily can fry nerve endings, especially in seniors. Why us? Our nerves don't repair as fast past 60, damage sticks. Sarah stopped her B6, but months later, she's still numb, she's fighting to reclaim her legs. That's not just a physical hit, it's emotional. Your legs carry your dignity, your independence. Losing that over a pill? Gut-wrenching. My Uncle Mike, he's 70, lived this too. Loved his energy stack. Bragged about staying sharp. Then he calls me freaked. I can't feel my feet. I raced over, checked his stash, 200 milligrams of B6 a day. I dragged him to a neurologist who said, early neuropathy, cut it now. We did, swapped to salmon, about 1 milligram per serving, and he's clawing back. Not perfect, but he's steadier. I've seen this pattern too often. A viewer's dad, 66, on 150 milligrams B6, lost feeling in his calves, still struggles a year after quitting. Permanent damage isn't rare. Studies peg it at 1 in 5 with chronic high doses. Let's rewind. B6 wasn't always a villain. In the 50s, it was a cure for morning sickness, prescribed like candy to pregnant women. Then the 80s hit, and megadoses popped up for energy. By the 90s, neuropathy cases started piling up, but the hype didn't stop. I fell for it too, took 50 milligrams daily in my 30s, thought I'd be Superman. Dropped it when I learned better, and I'm glad I did. Today, it's still in every Senior Vitality blend. Check your bottle, you'll see. Here's the kicker, it's silent till it's not. No rash, no fever, just a slow fade. Tingling toes, wobbly steps, dodging social stuff because you're scared to fall. Sarah avoided her book club, said she couldn't face tripping in front of friends. That's not living, that's shrinking. My hack: skip the pills unless you're tested low, 1.3 milligrams daily's plenty for most seniors. Go for food, chicken, bananas, fish. I grill salmon twice a week now, and my legs feel alive without risking my nerves. If you're on B6, peek at that label. Over 50 milligrams? Time to rethink. This one's the sneakiest, but you've got the upper hand now. Okay, let's take a step back and talk about what this all means for you. We've just blown the lid off vitamin E, A, and B6, three supposed health heroes that could be quietly tanking your legs. But this isn't just about vitamins, it's about your life. I watched my granddad go from hiking trails with me to needing a walker in his 80s. It wasn't just his legs giving out, it was his spark. He stopped joking, stopped planning trips. That's when I realized, your legs aren't just for walking, they're your ticket to staying you. Losing leg strength doesn't hit like a freight train. It's subtle. Maybe you hesitate before stepping off a curb, or getting out of a chair feels like a workout. You take the elevator instead of the stairs, not because you're lazy, but because your legs don't feel steady. Over time, you move less, skip that walk in the park, plan your day around what you can't do. That's not aging, that's a slow fade you don't have to accept. Research shows mobility loss in seniors isn't just physical, it tanks your mood, your confidence, your whole outlook. Here's where it gets real for me. I've spent years making videos like this because I've seen too many people I love lose their independence to stuff we can fix. My granddad's decline? Part of it was vitamins he didn't need, part of it was sitting too much, which we'll hit later. But the point is, you've fought your whole life to live on your terms. Don't let a pill bottle undo that. My tip? Start listening to your body. If your legs feel off, tired, shaky, numb, don't shrug it off. Write it down, talk to someone. I started a little health journal after Granddad's scare. It's how I caught my own fatigue early and fixed it. You've got more power here than you think. So, what do you do with all this? You're not helpless, far from it. First step, check your supplements. Grab that bottle off your counter. Vitamin E, A, B6. How much are you taking? I dragged my Uncle Mike to a geriatric specialist after his B6 mess, and the doc ordered a nutrient panel. It's a blood test that shows exactly what's in your system. Numbers don't lie. Mike's B6 was through the roof, and his vitamin A wasn't far behind. That test saved him from a walker, and it could save you too. Ask your doctor for one. It's not standard, so push for it. Next, talk to a pro who gets aging. Not every doctor knows the ins and outs of senior health. Find one who does. I learned this the hard way when my mom's GP brushed off her hip pain as old age. A geriatric specialist caught the vitamin A link in 10 minutes. Bring your pill bottles, your diet, your meds, lay it all out. Ask, what do I actually need? Most of us don't need megadoses. Our bodies can't use them anyway. Here's the big one, food over pills. I've been preaching this on Health Boost Daily forever, and it's gold. Ditch the vitamin E capsules for almonds or olive oil, natural, safe, delicious. Swap cod liver oil for sweet potatoes or carrots, your bones will love it. Drop the B6 pills and grill some salmon, tastes better, works better. I started this after my family's vitamin wake-up calls, and my go-tos now are grilled chicken with spinach or a smoothie with berries and nuts. Takes 10 minutes, and it's real medicine. One last tip, move a little. I'm not saying run a marathon. 5 minutes of stretching or a walk around the block wakes your legs up. I do it every morning after my coffee, and it's a game changer. You've got the tools, use them. Your legs, your freedom? They're worth it. Alright, let's get personal. I'm not a scientist or a doctor, I'm just a guy who's been around the block, making videos to help folks like you stay strong. But I've got a mentor, Tom, he's 62, who's climbed mountains, literally, after ditching bad habits. He told me once, aging isn't about getting weak, it's about getting wise. That stuck with me. I've lived through enough to see friends give up, blaming old age, when it was really fixable stuff, like a daily pill they didn't need. I've felt that quiet fear myself, shaky legs on a staircase, wondering if one fall would change everything. But I've come out the other side, and I'm telling you this to wake you up, not scare you. You've still got options. You've still got power. Most of all, you've still got time to protect what matters, your legs, your freedom, your balance. Tom's proof. He swapped supplements for real food, started moving more, and he's stronger now than he was at 50. You don't have to chase every new pill or think more is better. The secret's simpler. Listen to your body, notice the changes, and have the guts to switch gears when something's off. Here's my take. Growing older isn't a loss. It's a chance to lean on smarts over speed. I keep a little notebook now, call it my health diary. Every time I feel off, I jot it down. Help me catch a vitamin overload before it got bad. You haven't lost your health, it's still unfolding, and the freedom you keep tomorrow depends on the strength you defend today. Don't wait, pay attention, make smart moves, and step forward with confidence. You're not done, you're just getting wiser. There you have it, Health Boost Daily Crew. Vitamin E, A, and B6 could be your leg's worst enemies, but you've got the power to kick M to the curb. Check your pills, talk to your doc, eat real food, and keep those legs strong. You're in control here. Next time, I'm diving into a sitting habit that's sneakier and deadlier than any vitamin. Subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss it. Drop a 1 in the comments if you're rethinking your vitamins, or a 0 if I didn't win you over. I want to hear from you. Share this with someone over 60. It might just save their independence. Thanks for hanging out with me on Health Boost Daily. Stay strong, stay awesome, and I'll see you in the next one.